Hey, good morning. Well, we're back out in Tuscola County again. Today we're over on Murray Road. It's a 52 acre piece out here. We're gonna start up here in front at the road front. It's about I don't know, half, 3/4 of an acre of a little clearing here. It'd be something you could set up your deer camp or your turkey camp out here. We're going to make our way back through the woods and get some more pictures. Hold on. Well, we are just getting started back into this piece of property. Came in from out of the small opening out front. And we're headed down, excuse me, a trail that heads to the south and east. Quite a system of trails that they've got out here. They wind around through a lot of these small popple and maple up in this area. Very thick cover, good bedding cover for deer. Also plenty of turkeys out here, and hopefully we can run into one of those while we're back here. So we are, oh, there goes a grouse down there in the middle of the road. We are making our way east and south across this piece. As I was saying earlier, there's lots of trails that they've created through here. So deer got lots of paths to wander around as well as the people. The western end of this piece of property is really thick popples and young maples. Again, good bedding cover. Apparently pretty good grouse cover too. Haven't seen too many of those this year, but there was one right there ahead of us. This area of Tuscola County has a high water table. By that I mean it holds water in the spring. You can see it here in the trail. Seller tells me about the time they start putting in their food plots, the water just suddenly disappears and only comes back again after big rains or snow melts. Now we made it back to the first deer blind that's back here, overlooking some small food plot and some shooting lanes out through here. Again, lots of popples, lots of maple. We're higher now. We got up out of the wet ground back here. There is a ridge that runs all the way along the southern part of this property. We'll take a hike down that. This kind of gives you an idea of what you can see here from this blind. Lots of shooting lanes. And right out there in the middle of that opening is later this spring will be nice and green. And now we're making our way along the path that runs the top of this ridge along the southern edge of the property. The usual Tuscola County ridge. If it drops 20 or 30 feet in elevation, you've got a ridge around here. And the seller plants most of these paths. So there's usually later in the year when he can get out here and plant it, there'll be all kinds of rye and that sort of stuff growing in here. All right, found us an opening here. Let me see, along the north side of this ridge. I can look down out in there. A lot of deer runways going right through here. Got it kind of beat down to a path. So I remember the seller's got a stand over there in that big pine. But again, lots of thick cover in here. One of those places where you watch deer all day rather than, sorry about that, finish my sentence. One of those places that you see deer more likely to move all day than when you're in big open woods. It's normally a daylight and dark deer movement. Here it's pretty much all day. Found us another high spot with an opening to see here. We're getting over near the southeast corner of this property. And the southeast corner adjoins state land It's basically a step from the corner of this property onto the corner of the state land. I believe there's hundreds of acres of it over there, and also across the street from this property to the west. And this property does have a single strand wire fence all the way around its perimeter. It's always nice to know where your property lines are at. All right, we have arrived at the southeast corner. Woods are a little more open here. There's also a few oaks here, so I noticed a little opening that they have planted here. There's quite a few acorns laying around. Mostly young oak. So you're gonna have acorns for a long time here. All right, we are at the east line of the property here. And there's a trail that goes over there to the northeast corner, and somewhat of a path that goes all the way down the north line. It's a lot easier, or I'm sorry, a lot harder to find than these open pathways. Seller did go about an acre and a half, 2 acre chunk out here at the northeast corner, and did a bunch of hinge cutting. So there's probably about 2 acres out in there that be difficult at best to walk through, but the deer love it for bedding. And right here is a path that comes all the way in from the road. It's about a half a mile back through here. And when things dry up in here and some of this water goes away, it's pretty easy to get back in here. Probably drive your truck down that road. Being in the spring, water setting here and there and here, and some of that ground's going to be pretty squishy. The other interesting thing here is all the way back here, a half a mile, and then off the back end of the property we're looking at here, there are 2 seasonal cabins back in here. And those folks, I believe their driveway comes for a half a mile in from the next road. Not my kind of drive to come into my cabin, but apparently those folks like it. All right, and we found another small food plot with the accompanying box blind. It's greening up really well in here. Won't be long till deer will find that and get busy on chewing. Gonna make our way over to the big food plot now. And we've arrived at the big food plot. And I see over there in the tree is one of the blinds here, up high. A little more guts than I got to go up to that one. Usually planted rye, clover, that sort of thing, brassica. I believe he tried some corn out here once, but they ate it faster and then it would mature. And springtime puts a seasonal pond down in the west end of this field. Again, per the seller, that usually goes away late June.